Welcome to All My Friends Are Cooler Than Me. I'm Wes,
And I'm Dr. Laura. Enjoy today's episode.
and learn how to be just a little bit cooler. So I've known this wonderful young woman for a couple of years now, and she has got to be one of the most hardworking individuals I have ever met in my entire life. I never wanted to be one of those guys who was, in his 30s and looking at somebody that is decently younger than them and still looking up to them and admiring them. But when I met her, I found myself doing just that. She actually just got her esthetician license because she's getting ready to open up some beauty parlor here and awesome health segment stuff. She's killing it in the real estate game out there in Virginia. She's having amazing camera difficulties, doing kick flips.
Sorry, it just fell.
uh, you know,
Okay, I'm good.
she has this massive online following because she does a ton of modeling of the respectable kind. Nothing bad. She's everything she does, she puts her all into it and she does it the right way and she kills it. And it's amazing to see somebody put that amount of dedication and succeed. She inspires me all the time and I'm lucky to call her my friend. You want to introduce yourself to everybody? I know they don't.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. This is Foreign Bay, aka Iris from Instagram. I am an active duty sailor, also a real estate and an esthetician license. Doing all three. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here with Wes and Dr. Laura. Yeah, so you guys can get to know more about me, just not social media stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're really glad to have you. So, one of the things that you pointed out is that you are a busy lady doing multiple different things. How did you
Yes.
come to be in this position where not only are you're in the Navy, but you're in real estate, you got your license, you're going to do some amazing lashes. I hope I can get some one day.
So, my time in the Navy, like, I mean, every day, like, I talk to people, like, um, whenever they would have regrets, I would try to kind of like learn from that. Like, how people would be like about to get out or retire, and they're gonna be like, oh my God, I don't, I haven't done anything. I'm so scared to get out and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what it started. Why I tried to do the side jobs, like, the civilian jobs, so that I could be prepared if something were to happen. I don't want to wait. I want to be proactive.
Yeah, I respect that. There's not a lot of people that are like that, but I respect it. I wish more people were. Yeah, I mean, here's my other thing too.
Yeah.
I have a question about you. You have essentially 3 full-time jobs, but you also speak 3 languages, right? Am I
Yes.
crazy? Okay, so what languages do you speak?
No, and so I speak Tagalog, Bisaya, which is a dialect, and English. And honestly, I've been having a hard time. I feel like my English just keeps getting worse and worse. That's why I'm so scared to talk, like, on my video and stuff like that, because people always point it out. Yes, they'll be like, oh, it's okay. But then they just keep picking it out. And I'm like, ooh, but yeah, yeah.
I call shenanigans, but um, hey, by the way, your camera is like going in and out on the quality scale, like pretty bad. Are
Oh,
you?
really? Oh, my goodness. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah. So for starters, I think your English is amazing. And second, it makes me kind of sad to hear somebody that is as awesome as you are ever having any type of self doubt. That makes me sad. Please stop it as a favor to me. Yeah.
I feel like God pulls me back, in that when I'm feeling like self doubt and a lot of that, I feel like God pulls me back to the ground. I think that's the right English.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Just keeping you humble.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Being humble is definitely important because if you're not, you just get hit by lightning. I don't know. Something bad happens.
Yeah, I've got a fiance who keeps me humble. She just wakes me up every morning by reminding me that I'm mortal and that I will fail today. It's a really weird ritual, but like it works, you know.
Yeah, it works for us.
Uh, um, so give us a little bit about your background. Like I know that, like I know you, but for all these people out there watching, where you from? What's your favorite food? I'm just kidding. No, tell us your story.
Okay. Okay. So, I came to America when I was like 11 or 12, with my mom and my stepdad. I finished high school here in America, and then I got forced to join the military by my stepdad because they didn't want me to have like student debt and stuff like that. So I joined right after high school, 19 or 18. And then, yeah, I got stationed in Washington State for almost 7 years. And I'm here in Virginia now, closer to my parents. But um, some things that people don't know, I love to dance. I was in a dance team in high school. Um, I'm very empathetic, compassionate, a lot of gratitude in my life. Um, a loner too, I guess. Oh my God, is this how alcohol like hitting? Oh my God, it's
Yes.
hot in here. Woo, it's
Okay,
hot.
we're getting the dark
Yeah,
Yeah.
truths.
the secrets.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes misunderstood, just because of social media. But I'm a really good person. I can say that about myself. Really good person. Um, yeah, just doing life.
So, if you don't mind me asking, what do you mean by misunderstood because of social media? Like what?
Like how on social media I have a lot of followings, just like you said, right? I'm actually losing followers because I'm not that active and stuff like that. But because I feel like I'm struggling when people are like having this idea of me when they don't even know me, you know? Like I have so much followings. Let's talk about love life. That's what I mean by that. So people think just because I have a lot of followings, I have a lot of people, but I feel like I'm like desirable but not lovable, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I'm kind of like struggling in that area just because of my social media. Yeah.
I love you. All right, you're like a little sister to me. All right.
Love you too, Wes.
But I could see how that might happen where people only see a part of you rather than a whole human being. And that
Right.
part that
Yeah.
they see may not even be accurate.
Yeah. Definitely not accurate because people always think I have somebody. And I'm like, if that was the case, then I would be married by now.
Are you? Should I set you up with a nice young Jewish boy? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think I need to take time for myself, just really get to like know more about me. Like, I need to have an identity because right now I feel like I'm kind of like lost, like, trying to find myself. Even though on social media it might seem like I know myself, but I feel like when it comes to love life, that's what I struggle the most. Yeah.
It seems like one of the things that's really helped ground you, like you said, but also provide some guidance is your faith. Can you speak a little
Yes.
bit more about that?
There's so many situations where God just saved me. When I was in Bremerton, I had like 3 cars at one time. Oh, if anybody didn't know, I used to be married. Yeah, I used to be married. I was like very young and stuff like that. So I had 3 cars because I got a new car, or I leased a car and then I had my car and then I bought a new car, and I felt like stuck in that time. And then all of a sudden, like I was able to you know, give, not give, but like, what is the English word I'm looking for? I was able to get rid of the cars,
Okay.
you know. It was very depressing time at the moment, but I just kept praying, talking to God and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, my problem got solved. Yeah, and I was fine. It's just God have saved me so many times, and I feel like if there's no one to run to, I just talk to Him, and then I would just be grounded, and it just brings me back to gratitude. Yeah.
Were you raised in a religious household?
So at the Philippines, I went to church every Sunday with my grandma because my grandma raised me, but I don't really know what it means. I've always believed in God, but I feel like as I got older, it's like I now know, like, because I've been working my relationship with Him, it's like I now know more than being young and going to church, if that makes sense.
Like it's a mature relationship.
Yes, yeah, because
Okay.
I know more about myself, like the way I talk to Him and stuff like that. Before I was young, I was like, yeah.
So, I mean, you have built a pretty damn successful life by any metric. Sounds like you still have some things that you want to work on, but you kind of built this blueprint for yourself based on faith in something bigger to where you don't really let that fear stop you from pursuing things. Um, I guess my question is, what obstacles did you face that made you develop that?
Um, okay, so military, being a woman in the military, right? I feel like I always gotta work harder being a woman in the military. It's like I always gotta prove something, gotta work harder to earn something. And it just like it became fun to me unlocking new levels like within my career. But it's just very hard. Like right now, oh, of course, the result just came out. And it just like I didn't make it, by the way, so that's kind of sad. But I had like terrible evals because of my old grade. But just being a woman in the military, I feel like I always gotta work hard for something. It's hard to just because you're a pretty face, people think, oh, you just got it like that. Those are like the obstacles that I face in the military just because I'm pretty. They think I get everything just because I'm pretty, but people that know me, I work hard. I'm very dedicated. I love my job. I just converted my job to a yeoman, and I really do love the Navy. I don't know. It's just so many benefits it has given me. But yeah, just being a woman is kind of like hard, especially in the military. That'll be like the biggest obstacles, or pretty woman, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. People underestimate you.
Today's episode is brought to you by the One Man, One Mic Foundation, Three Buck Water, Badger, Operation Gamify, and the Ink and Frame Collective. Check out the episode description for more details.
You don't just work hard in the Navy, you also are exploring some new ventures. Can you tell us how you got into real estate?
So, real estate, I met a first class who was about to retire, but he had like 7 properties. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I love talks that is like positive, something that I can look up to. And he had 7 properties and he was about to get out. And, like, how I told you, whenever I talk to people, I try to get a little bit of something with everyone that I come across with. And I wanted to be that person. So I fell in love with real estate. I was like, if he can do it, I can do it too. There's like nothing should stop me from achieving those things, because if he can do it right out of boot camp, I can do it too, you know? And that's where it started. I fell in love with real estate, and I was like, you know what? Just because I want to buy a house, why don't I help people, lead the people in the military who have these benefits? VA loan. I could use it to help people. So that's why I started real estate too. Yeah.
So you're gonna have to explain some stuff to me, right? Because we're your avenues of success are kind of like all over the place. How did
Yeah.
you get into the esthetician side then? Like,
Okay, maybe it's my love for unlocking new things. I didn't want to stop. Like right now, I don't even want to stop yet. I want to do some other shit. Oh, are we allowed to cuss in here?
fire
Yeah,
the fuck away. You're good. I'm literally vaping, and like, yeah, you're good.
I'm like drinking in a car right now.
That's fruit
I'm
juice.
parked, so it
That's
doesn't
fruit
count.
juice. That's fruit juice.
But so I
Le-
love skincare.
Legal disclaimer: that is in fact actually fruit juice. This is a running joke. That is fruit juice. It's not alcohol. She is not driving around while drinking. Just so
Yeah.
everybody knows.
Yes. So okay, let's start with. Okay, I love making my mom proud. You know, that is the woman that did everything. I am here because of her. She loves skincare. And I was like, you know what? Let me do something that would like connect me and her even more. You know, she loves skincare. Like, I don't know if you've seen my mom, but I post her sometimes on my social media. She looked like she's 25. She looked young. So with esthetician, obviously side hustle. Um, my mom, she loves skincare, so I wanted to connect and obviously do it on the side too. Because what if I don't like real estate, right? What if it failed? I could do something else. I guess that's where it started. Just doing stuff that I love, what interests me, and nobody else's, just for myself. Plus, I love skincare too. Like, if you
It's
guys haven't noticed,
I know,
Yes.
not a wrinkle to be seen. I can't even get this one to wear sunscreen. Do you have any tips?
Yes, you need to wear sunscreen even at night. You need to do it, or else you're gonna age quicker.
We spent
You
40
need
years
to
in the
put
desert for a
sunscreen.
reason. All right. Got this.
That's so lovely though that this is a way to bring you closer to your mom. So,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit more about your relationship over the years and maybe how it's different now as an adult?
So I lived with my grandma at the Philippines. She left me when I was little. Not like left like as in left me. Meaning like she went to go to work in the city. So my grandparents was looking out for me, when I was little. And I feel like that's where kind of like where my trauma kind of started, being feeling like, my mom leaving me, which I've talked to her about it. But yeah, I feel like sometimes it kind of get in the way when it comes to my relationships with people because I feel like, oh, I got abandoned, blah blah blah. But she didn't really abandon me. She's taking care of her family plus me, you know. When I was younger, I didn't really understood that, but now as I got older, my mom is a selfless woman. Now we're a lot closer. I'm vocal. She is from her mindset is to like Philippines, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but just talking to her kind of like opens up like a new level of understanding between us. Oh my god.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, I mean, it's as a kid, you don't really understand. You just know that, mom's not home, but it sounds like really she was doing that for you.
Yes. And I'm telling you, it's like I'm very grateful, understanding. It's like, our parents they're growing too. They're not perfect. It's like it doesn't stop just because they're parents. They're still growing and learning about life. I had to kind of like understand that just because she's my mom doesn't mean she's already perfect. She's still growing as a person. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's every kid. They have this habit of like viewing their parents or like the adults in their lives as like angels or demons or gods or like, these all powerful, infallible beings. But I think the real big mark of maturity is realizing that nobody has any idea what the fuck they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
it's all
Mhm.
kind of a big jumbled ball of chaos, which to me is like
Yeah.
awesome because that's my happy place. But um, just listening to the way that you kind of talked about this stuff, having that sense of kind of like an abandonment that ended up not really being an abandonment seems to me like it built this drive in you to make something that was all your own that couldn't be taken away from you and to branch out and to build this stability that you didn't necessarily feel when you were younger and to be able to take something that is painful, something that is scary, and to build what you have built out of it, to me is wonderful. It is inspiring. Like that is what everybody should strive to do, in my opinion. So I just consider me thoroughly impressed by you as always.
Thank you.
So what's next? If you don't mind me asking, what's the next side quest?
So, I'm 28, right? I'm about to be 29 this year. So, I'm actually ready for like to meet somebody so I can start a family. I guess I'm having like a middle what is it called? Midlife crisis?
You can't say that to me.
Yeah, I'm
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 so much
having a
older than you.
midlife
Don't say that.
crisis. No, but you're a man and I'm a woman. It's different. I'm telling you. It's different. It's like, oh my god, what if my uterus don't work anymore? I gotta get started.
All right, so for all of you guys out there watching, this is now the dating profile show.
Yeah, send
Yeah.
your applications. We're gonna vet them
Please,
for you.
I'm ready to mingle.
Sorry, I'm dying.
But starting a family of your own is something that you see yourself doing. That's important.
What was that? What did you say?
Starting your own family is something that is
Yes.
really important to you.
Yes, it's very important to me because, like, well, obviously you don't know, but my real dad and my mom, they didn't work out, So I want to create something that's like two-parent household, you know? I want that, like, to have a father figure. I have my stepdad, he's been a father figure to me, but I just want like a two-parent household. Like, I want to be able to do it differently from my mom. Like, my mom did amazing. I'm the way I am because of her, but I just want to do it differently. Show them just different. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. I mean, yeah, our parents are huge influences on who we become. And as we talked about, they're not perfect. And sometimes they
Right.
point to things that we don't want to repeat or that we want to do differently. So,
Yes.
sounds like you want things to be a little bit different for your future children and hopefully a little bit better, a little bit easier.
Yes. That's why I'm working so hard to be like, financially stable. I want to be set up before I actually settle down so I can give them something. And I know it's not always going to work that way, but I at least want to be prepared just a little bit, you know, for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, darling?
I mean, I think there's a million things that make Irish so successful and so cool. But one of the things that I think is really interesting about you is you have this uncanny ability to live in the present moment, right? So a lot of people who get stuck spend too much time dwelling on the past, ruminating, getting inside their heads about things that have happened or shouldn't have happened or whatever, right? Or people spend so much time worrying about what might happen in the future, right? That they miss out on what's happening in this moment at present day. And you are
Right.
someone who really has this ability to live life in the moment, right? So rather than waiting for some future day, waiting until you've retired from the military, you're doing it and you're doing it now. And so there's a lot of evidence to suggest that being able to stay present focused in the moment is one of the key components to mindfulness, right? Being intentionally aware of our experiences.
I mean, I just meant about our dating profile, but that was good too. Yeah. Yep. Uh, so I mean, I guess we try to like kind of like round this out, and I know it's kind of cliche, but if you were to meet somebody that was just starting out on their journey, and you wanted to impart some words of wisdom on them to help them achieve even some semblance of what you have, what do you think you would try to tell that person?
I would tell them to I would tell them to just focus on themselves right now, like kind of like find out what you want to do. What is there that you love to do? Like focusing on yourself is very important because I feel like people are too worried about other people's opinions, that kind of stuff. So I feel like knowing your identity is very important because if you don't know your identity, then you're gonna be lost because you're always trying to like be this and this and that, and you're not happy. If that makes sense, just
Yeah.
knowing yourself would be very important. What it is that you love, what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is that makes you happy, but not focusing on what other people say. Always be open to feedback, but always, just focus on yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think anybody can ever really see another person until they can see themselves. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
yeah.
I'm with it. Well, thank you again so much for coming on the show. Thank you for opening up, talking to us. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being awesome. And if you ever find yourself in Mississippi, I hope you come hang out.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you for having me. And, like, hopefully, oh, my accent just came out. Hopefully, people get to know a little bit about me. Um, yeah, I always get like, oh, you look like a bitch. Oh, I cussed again. But people always think that, just because of how I look and stuff like that. But yeah, hopefully people get to know a little bit about me. And yeah,
I've never had anything but awesome interactions with you. I think you're wonderful.
thank you guys.
Thank you, sis. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Laura.
Thank you.
Say bye bye, puppy girl.
Say
She's
bye.
not saying, yeah, she's not
Bye,
biting.
puppers.
Every episode of All My Friends Are Cooler Than Me is made possible by the One Man, One Mic Foundation. Purpose, belonging, and connection are often found in a life of service, but so rarely in the silence that comes after. The One Man, One Mic Foundation exists to help veterans and active duty service members find purpose through storytelling, belonging within our communities, and connection to the world through podcasting. Help bring them back to community. Find out more at onemanOneMicFoundation.org.